Introducing the 3BR Powersports Sun Shield with fan. Good day, folks. Don here from 3BR Powersports. Today I want to go over the features and benefits of the 3BR Powersports Sun Shield with fan, designed to work with the GoPro Hero 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. First, a word about action cameras. There are a lot of people that feel that because they're called action cameras, they have to be part of the action. But nothing could be farther from the truth. Action cameras are perfectly at home recording action while mounted in a stationary position. So a baseball game, a soccer match, contractors use them mounted on fencing or tall poles to record progress of their construction projects. And one of the most popular uses is anglers who mount one or two cameras on their boats or kayaks to record their catch. And in fact, tournaments require the catch be recorded to be eligible for weigh-in. So let's look at that application where the camera's not moving. The problem with stationary mounts is overheating. Now, action cameras have two primary sources of heat. First is the power that they consume while recording. This can range anywhere from a low of 5 watts up to 12 or more watts, and 98% of that power is converted to heat. Now, the next highest heat source is solar radiation. Solar radiation can be as much as 1,000 watts per square meter, and while the camera is small, that still adds up. It can be 4 or 5 watts total, which is a major part of the heat load, and thus the need for some kind of protection against the solar radiation, and that's where the Sun Shield with fan comes in. The Sun Shield is designed to work with the GoPro pass-through door, and it's strongly recommended that you use that for two reasons. One, it provides a weatherproof seal for the cable when it's plugged in. The other is it helps the camera fit tightly into the Sun Shield. The other thing is the Sun Shield is designed to be used with the GoPro Max Lens mod. Okay, let's talk about usage. We've seen how the camera is installed in the Sun Shield, and we have our GoPro pass-through door, and now we have to find a way to power both the camera and the fan. In the simplest application, simply mounted a small 5,000 milliamp hour lipstick battery using the two cable ties that are included in the kit. This setup can be used without external power and just the battery and the camera for short events. And even then, it still needs some protection against solar radiation, but a more common application, you're going to want to record for a longer period of time, so you'll need to run external power. Here's my favorite setup. This is a little 3,000 milliamp hour flat pack and mounted again with cable ties. And the cool thing about this, it acts as a rear door for the Sun Shield to protect the rear screen from solar radiation when it's in use, and yet, as you can see, it can be easily flipped up for access to the screen when needed. Another battery installation is using Velcro strips so the battery can be removed, and that's where the Velcro that is provided in the kit comes in, and the instructions give you details step by step how to make that setup. So there you have it, the 3BR Powersports Sun Shield with fan. I'm an engineer and I tend to overanalyze things. In fact, my kids used to hate to ask me questions because I would whittle redwoods down to matchsticks answering the question, but I've left the technical details to last so you can skip over it if it's not something that you're interested in. Here's the design philosophy around the Sun Shield with fan. First off, the color and the material. Now, as I mentioned, solar radiation can be up to 1,000 watts per square meter, and there's a couple of factors that are involved in the protection against that solar radiation. The first is color. Intuitively, you would think that a polished surface would be the best for resisting solar radiation, but that's actually not the case. While it's highly reflective, the key factor in protecting against solar radiation is something called emissivity, how much a surface emits the heat away from the source. A reflective surface has high reflectivity but low emissivity, so it really doesn't allow the heat to escape very well. Black, on the other hand, is a good emitter, but it's also a good absorber, so there's no net gain. And that gets us back to white. White is the best color for resisting solar radiation because it doesn't absorb solar radiation, but emits it quite effectively. Now, when we talk about a white surface, there can be a polished white surface like an automobile paint or a nubbly surface. A polished white, like automotive finish, also has reflectivity, so again, it does not emit solar radiation quite as well. So that's why the Sun Shield has this nubbly surface to it. Now we get to the fan. While a Sun Shield protects the camera from solar radiation, it also tends to trap heat inside. That's the heat that's generated by the camera power, as we mentioned early in the video. So the fan draws that heat out away from the camera, minimize overheating.